Okay.
I'm hoping that isn't an issue with this
then there were I think Fog just, like, his eyes jumped out of his head when he saw the draft too. So, this very well-balanced draft, which is not a win on draft for Fnatic at all, is now underway with a wonderful 5th pick, Abed Meepo, and Fnatic and Tigers are already tipping the Meepo pick at the end. This'll be fun, won't it, Kyle? Fun.
You need to do something wild here. The win condition's the same. Ajit Luna has to go absolutely nuts. He needs to get kills. You need to be stacking both Ancients and just making work happen. And look at Abed. Look at this guy.
He's already here looking for the ward. 1-4-3-7 gets down, however. He'll get the Observer ward out. So at least, hey, vision advantage.
No. Look at this. So this is lovely. They ward bottom side. Abed blocks the smoke top side. He'll know. Look at that.
Yeah, they pinged
Look at that.
Instantly. They knew. They knew.
That right there is the difference between Tier 1 and Tier 2 Dota in a nutshell. It's about utilizing every single second to try and gain advantage. No wasted moments. No one AFK in the base, still buying items.
And the other funny thing too is, like, with the way they've done it, because they put Weaver on the bottom lane, there is a gang set up on top. So no matter what happens, Tigers take both of the top runes.
Yep.
And a Shikuchi run from MP, he's going to slip around the back and take the back rune so they can still potentially grab 3. He wants to be careful. Okay, the Bane goes the other way. The Nyx leaves as well. The Observer Ward sees it all. So Zephyr can sit on top of the rune, but Fnatic claim 3 of the bounties and do a little bit of chip damage.
And I want to check out Abed's item build. I feel like he sets the standard for how to play Meepo.
3 circlets and 2 branches.
You go 3 Wraith Bands, and this is the most optimal stat build possible. He knows he's going up against a Mirana, so he'll have no shield. There's a Bane here too.
Has the days of, like, the 3 Dragon Lances passed us now for Meepo? Like, if you start looking at a hell of a lot of stats, Wyvern instantly TPs towards them. So Jabs is trying to harass him out. You wanted a good start over on the Luna. They threw her into the mid. So they actually ran Luna as well as Bane in the mid. So Jabs knows he needs to have a presence here. Dark Willow as well as Wraith King up on top so they can try and keep the Mirana and Io off. And that just leaves Moon going one-on-one with MP on the bottom lane.
And this is a very Weaver favorite matchup to note. I mean, it's a ranged duo versus a melee. You just eventually start double attacking constantly. Top is also very Fnatic favored. They have better team fight, better lanes, a Meepo.
As long as Ahnberg gets off to a good start, then you're good. Like, he's just hit level 2.
Yep. And
let's not get too aggressive here, Ahnberg. He's with the Splinter Blast and the Proof. I think they're just trying to chip away at the lane, and he's still holding that secondary point. Like, Arctic Burn comes back off cooldown, you go Splinter Blast again. They're going through all of the regeneration of the mid lane. Like, you've got one shared Tango, which is on cooldown for the Luna. She's got nothing else to work with anymore.
Not to mention, Wyvern's great at this sort of role, because he'll just spam all his mana, right?
Yep.
But then he'll back off Clarity and stack camps. We're going to see him move to do that in just a moment.
Yep.
There it is. Like, it's so good. You spam all your mana, have mangoes in case you can turn for a kill, and then you stack for your Meepo, arguably the best hero to do stacks in the jungle with.
MP's also having a fantastic time on bottom. He actually just plays around Moonspike Carapace net. No follow-up proofs for this. Arctic Burn was still on cooldown for the moment. But MP, like, he's even got Geminate Attack, and Moon tried to time the Spike Carapace. Just burns a little bit of mana, but burns the cooldown more than anything else. And focus. The Wraith Fire Blast makes all the zombies, and he actually gets the extra hit. And sure, why not? First blood to DJ on the offlane.
Wisp is a 0 armor hero playing against a stun and skeletons, not to mention the burst and control of a Dark Willow with the best support animation in Dota 2. It is a very, very hard Wisp game. I actually saw at TI many times. You'd see Dark Willow, Wraith King picked up in response to a first pick Wisp, and they got it second phase.
I also just love that little thing, like when you fire out, like you pop up the skeleton minions, but when you fire the Hellfire Blast, all the skeleton minions go towards that targeted hero. So there's no way to escape it. They will forever follow. Yep.
And look at this. He's going to get the triple stack, well played by Jabs mid, just securing Meepo's game, and then Meepo's going to hit level 3. And he pretty much can just jungle from there. He'll have 2 or 3 Wraith Bands finished up. Wyvern can easily sit mid. How does a Bane Luna pressure a Wyvern? You just spam W from afar. And It's just pretty much static lanes. Yes, they are winning mid. I think this was the optimal setup from Tigers. As you said, you've got to slow down Abed, and this is the best way to do it because who's their key hero? Luna. He'll have the best game.
Yeah.
It's just...
Nyx is still getting a good start, however. Like, this is a small upside. Like, he's getting a large amount of CS. The levels are looking good. MP actually mistimed one of his Shikuchi, so he actually ran into the Spike Carapace, so he's copped a fair chunk of damage, but burns the final salve. Jabs is now happy. He's down to 128 HP and almost no mana to walk back to, or crawl, as Wyverns do, back to the base.
And you got level 2 Meepo now, or level 3 rather. So you're at a point, once you get all those Wraith Bands, you can just start woodsing. Pop. And the CSing is also a much easier task in mid.
Do you actually like seeing the level 2 Spike Carapace on the Nyx Assassin against MP?
Oh, Haste picked up my
Like, as opposed to getting something like the Mana Burn?
No, I don't think you want Mana Burn. It's actually a wasted point in a lot of situations, especially in a game like this. It's nice to have that 84 damage nuke, but I mean, Weaver has 2 mangoes and a stick. You're never going to get him out of mana. It's far better to just maximize the damage output. And the Carapace into Sun is also how he'll be able to actually kill Meepo and Weaver throughout the game. Mana Burn's a very like alluring but yet utterly deceiving point to pick up.
Oh, the Brambles are down. He's running through almost every single one.
Yep.
And say goodbye to Zephyr.
Nothing you can do about that.
Yep, that's the second death now for the Io on the top lane. Makes it difficult for Mirana because he's meant to really be helping him out as the 5-minute bounty runes are arriving. Mirana will have to cross the river in order to ensure one of them, DJ. He's able to get the Curse Crown off. Okay, split. And Moon also on the run out. The Splinter Blast, it doesn't bounce off the Ancient, so he'll be able to regenerate on the Shrine.
Did you get the rune though, I think? Yeah, well played by Moon.
Yeah, so Fnatic and Tiger split at 2-2.
Yep. And look at Abed once again. Look at where his lane is. If this is controlled by Tigers on their hill, he doesn't get anything out of this lane. But because he's so awesome at utilizing his creep aggro, like he's getting 2 or 3 CS every wave in a 2-on-1 scenario. And oh goodness.
Managed to get the nets off. They interrupted the first poof, the second, and no, didn't actually get the second poof off. There would have been enough damage to kill off 1437, but with the Splinter Blast and the slow from the Arctic Burn, they have the control required. But Arbez dropping down very, very low, and Luna, they're going to be concerned about her level 2 Lucent Beam for that one low Meepo, and they're going to send him back to base. Unless they find a regeneration rune.
Or the bottom shrine.
It's a regeneration rune.
Of course it is.
It's a regeneration rune.
Yeah, and immediately Abed TPs his one Meepo out, buys boots. Now there's a regen on his other Meepo, so they're going to be both full health again. And this is where things get scary. You've put so much emphasis on this mid lane, but there's only a 400 net worth disparity between Abed and the enemy mid-core, and there's still stacks in his jungle.
MP's coming over to actually burn the Shrine, but 1437, not if he timed this the way he wanted to. As, he'll leave as, yeah, mid. Bane missing, so what do? You go in for the Luna, but didn't actually have enough control.
That's
one
fine.
shot just gave him a little bit more life, but he had no more Earthbind.
Yeah. So the key to beating a Meepo is to take a couple towers. Alas, Tigers don't really have tower push. But if they can invade his jungle and slow him down, that would be nice. It's just, if things get out of hand so quick with this hero, because he can clear waves and jungle way faster than any other hero in Dota, especially Abed Meepo when you go this triple Wraithband build.
That means Luna needs more time. Luna needs more time alone. Like, level is such a critical thing. Top lane, they're going to go again. A quick jump up. The Bramble will not be able to connect. Unless Io wants to walk back into it. But taking damage isn't always a bad thing for an Io. That's regeneration she can give back over to the Mirana as they look towards Ice again. 1437 also rotating towards the top lane.
And Jab's still doing a great job controlling mid. He got the ward that was placed on the high ground. That's 2 mid wards dewarded. And they already have their own high ground vision, so it's just such an easy game for Abed to play. He has 2 wards middle.
They are really investing into this Meepo, and no real surprise.
And that's another thing that isn't really discussed much. The community might not recognize, but warding around the right heroes on your team is very important. And you'll see a lot of the times teams waste these mid wards on heroes that aren't as impactful, but when you have a Meepo, he's your win condition. You just throw everything in the kitchen sink at it.
8-minute rune on bottom will be an illusion. Moon will just walk it off. No issue at all.
4 Wraith Bands on Abed.
That's looking good for him, but he still needs to start converting this into the CS, into the net worth, because he is still sitting in 4th position. Obviously, it skyrockets more as he goes up in the levels.
He's okay.
Faking the poof. With a Splinter Blast, they get the initial slow. The Earthbind's a little bit off target. Nightmare. Rotations coming in from the Io, but that's the reason why Jabs takes the Nightmare off him. And, well, not enough control, except the fact that Winter Wyvern has given his life for Abed.
Well played by Jabs. Immediately taking the sleep. That's, you know, he was a 4 position, but he has really embraced the role of 5.
Counter warding in from 1437, so he gets rid of some of the vision watching the top rune. That mid ward is still up, however. They may not know it's there. DJ starts with the Cursed Crown over on the Io. He'll be able to tether himself down, but it also stuns up the Bane because he's there. The Bramble connects on both of them. And Ice. He just wants himself a kill, and he'll probably claim it. Roshan aggroed up by the Io balls as Luna moves over. The Nightmare bounces, switching from one target to the other, actually causing more problems for Tigers to attack than anybody else.
And if that's any other hero in Dota, Luna can turn around, get a kill in the offlaner, but...
She's got Eclipse, but they need to isolate away from the creep wave for this to even have any chance of working.
Yep. It's the Wraith King factor.
Well,
Luna, is
down.
this the play?
I don't know if this is the play, but all of them almost, and he does actually kill off Abed. The glaive attack bounced up through the trees, I believe it was, to get the last hit on the weakened Meepo.
Did he get off? No, he got 3.
He got 3. He got 2 on the one and 1 on the other. Top lane, Mirana, 1 charges with the Starfall. Ice will fall, but he has Reincarnation. So back to the world of the living, and they look just to turn into the 2 supports. Io has some level of regeneration, but now when Jabs arrives, they get the secondary slow over towards the Io. Not to mention, you had the extra connection of the Splinter Blast. While this was happening, Moon got himself a solo kill on Weaver on the bottom lane. So I would say tit for tat, but it's 3. There's 3 tits for 1 tat.
Moon's doing an excellent job bottom, just dominating
wow,
this
they
Weaver.
just keep him controlled. They don't even see.
The problem is...
Oh, arrows off target. Now Luna shows himself. They bring in the secondary Meepo. Holding off on the extra poof. Battling around Roshan.
If you check out the net worth, so the big issue with the Tigers lineup is nothing to do with the cores. They're fine. What does Wisp Bane do? Look at them. This was your opener. And you have absolutely no game, and my biggest concern with the Wisp is when your other support has no method of push. You have no wave clear on either support now.
They fortify up on top. Great Fiend Script 1437 wrapped around the back end. They just won the last hit in the tower, but, well, it will actually be the last hit in the tower coming in through the... No, it was denied by Mirana. Take it all back. Meanwhile, Bane isolated underneath the Harpy, whose accent can still be questioned. 9 HP. Io, that's what Io does. Stays alive this way. DJ then brought down. Wonder Kid gets the double kill on the Mirana.
Yep. That was a mess up by DJ. He missed his attack there from his Shadow Realm, so it only did the regular damage instead of the bonus, so that would have been a 100% sure kill, maybe even save him. You can look, Luna in the meantime, continuing to farm, almost at that Mask of Madness. No Ancient stacks, though. 1 up top, but that's it. And Abed Meepo is at that point where he's going to start to accelerate fast.
Yeah. But he needs this. Like right now, the top 3 net worth still belong to Tigers. The net worth advantage overall isn't that great because Io as well as Bane have almost nothing compared to the Fnatic supports.
Yep. It's just be so hard to kill these heroes. It's another scenario where I love watching teams that balance out the cores. You have the Reincarnate Wraith King can survive just through sheer tank ability. Meepo with the shuffling, and then Weaver can time lapse and be elusive.
The curse is out on Io. Marana currently killing his support. They got the Curse Crown as well for the double stuns. And then Wonder Kid gets hit up by Roshan, but DJ.
But Meepo in the jungle. Moon found him.
Meepo in the jungle is in trouble.
Wow.
Those 4 Wraith bands are not enough to protect him.
Yeah, Moon is single-handedly going to keep his team in the game if he keeps playing like this. He won a lane that I think is unfavorable and killed the Weaver. And now he's almost level 12. That means he'll have almost 100% uptime on his invis. He'll be able to hunt Meepo all the time. And Abed really isn't in a place to fight. He wants to be able to safely farm his woods, and that's not going to be a possibility. Look at all the wards they placed.
Yep. I think this is actually a shift in the warding that the Fnatic needs to do. Protect the northern area. Like, let Meepo farm up with the Ancients and the 2 camps there and then bounce towards the mid lane. But for the moment, you're not seeing Tigers letting up. They want to attack in towards the mid, even without the Vendetta. Moon still wants to come in close, able to connect the stun onto Jabs. DJ's in the neighborhood, but wait for these meepos to start arriving. Ice TP's in towards the mid lane. His reincarnation is back up again, gets the stun over on Moon, while Jabs protects himself inside the cold embrace. These supports need to do a little bit more as the Lucent Beam. It does manage to get the kill over onto the Winter Wyvern, but a 3-hero swarm able to connect. They're trying to get it off Moon Meander. They will be able to do so, and with Vendetta, he's running away, still visible thanks to the dust, but they're low on life. The salve will be burnt by the IO to bring them both back up to full health. Yep. And Fnatic really not getting the rebuttal kills they wanted to find.
They're really well played by Tigers. They're doing an excellent job just staying in this game. I called it over from the draft. I still think it is, but they're proving that they are resilient and not worth giving up on. 3 Meepos now active on Abed.
They're not giving Meepo the space to actually start to explode. They're being very, very persistent about watching this mid. You knew how much Fnatic committed. We were looking at the Observer and Sentry combinations, and now it's Luna who's the one who's really making the most of stacks. MP's nearby, they have the Observer wards, they see this happening, but thanks to the fact you've already got the Mask of Madness and 13 1 charges over on the Luna, this is the regeneration. The IO grants, they can take the stacks, all the money comes in, and there's just no rebuttal because Abed's not ready to fight.
And this is where you want to be as the Luna. You will be the hyper carry of this game. It's actually a lot of pressure on Fnatic to be more active soon.
They see him. The Earthbind will be able to connect, and this should be a kill with a second Earthbind underneath the Sentry ward. And Abed, some much-needed money coming his way.
No, it's well done. It's just a question of does Abed get a blink or just rush that E-Blade? I'm concerned that if he goes for this full farm style, you might be in trouble if Ajit starts to play different areas of the map. I don't like seeing him top. I want him to play mid and just run between Ancients. Stack one camp, farm the other, kill mid, rinse, repeat. You don't get nearly as much farm in the top lane, safe jungle as you would mid and on Ancients.
Well, speaking of mid, Ice is trying to force it, but Bane with Fiend's Grip available can go on the Wraith King. Remember, Wraith King still has the reincarnation. It's level 1 only. Arrow, that took a long time to throw out, and it really feels like Tigers don't know if they want to commit inside. They look towards the back line where Jabs throws the curse over on Moon. He was in very, very deep. He was on a warding mission. That's the reason why he put 2 observe wards out, and Io instantly finds the freshest of them all.
I'm not a fan of MP's build this game. He's going for a Maelstrom, which punishes more than helps in a game like this because it'll proc Nyx Assassin Carapace, and in addition, it's just not nearly as good of an item as a Diffusal against a Whisper Bane.
Oh, with the timing. He spiked Carapace, but he took the damage from Shikuchi before he spiked Carapace.
He's on the right track, though. No sentries in this area if he can keep hunting. They're pinging it out, though. They've got Spidey senses active.
They're scanning to the right. They want to see if he'll come underneath.
And they smoke.
Yep. Onto the edge of the scan. There's a ping. It times out. I don't think they've walked under it either. This is not really the hero they want to have, the one that's available, which is Ice.
This next fight is critical.
But
Tigers
Luna,
in this game.
Yeah, they kind of left Luna by herself. While they smoke and they head south, they want to wrap around the mid. But Fnatic have gone for their own smoke, and they want to kill the Luna. She starts to TP. Terrorize flies forward. It cancels it, sending the IO back as well. A perfect Bramble. Then the follow-up Curse Crown. That's actually going to time out, mainly because he's already dead.
It was a cool move set up by 1437 and Tigers. They just got punished by that second. It's a game of inches and seconds, and DJ reads the scenario perfectly. He knows to try to back off.
Actually, does he? No, he doesn't want this. They see him. They see him going towards Roshan. But Luna's down. She does not have buyback available. Sentry Ward gets placed. They saw Moon for half a second, but half a second's long enough. And the army of the skeletons are on their way. Ice tanks the arrow. That is fine. They've already got Roshan. Bane can't do anything about this. He comes in close to Nightmare's one, but then the Bramble flies out. 1437 able to tiptoe around it. And they find a better target. It's actually the Mirana. Cursed up. So much damage onto Wonderkid. He'll still be able to kill off the Winter Wyvern. Colin Brace won't do anything, but the return kill is onto Moon.
This is the downside of the draft of Tigers. You have stuns, but they have no legitimate initiator. And you look at Fnatic, once again, they have this massive team fight advantage. Tigers, you can find pickoffs, you can find kills very easily. They've demonstrated that throughout the game. But you have no real method of ever winning a clash, a team fight, until your Luna is an item or 2 ahead of the entire game. And at this rate, he's struggling to keep pace, let alone exceed.
Yeah. Building everything in for the team fights, going the Dragonlance, the Mask of Madness. There's no Manta-style split push or trying to break free of anything. Or dodge anything, like Hellfire Blast. And there's Weaver finishing up the Maelstrom. That was mainly possible because of the 2 kills they received up on top in the Io and the Luna. There's a little bit more push power into the lineup. And there's the E-Blade completed. So 18 minutes in, Ahnberg completes E-Blade. So a lot of magical pops going to be coming some way. They need that BKB on the Luna. But you look to the bottom lane, the defense. Curse is available for Jabs. He's going to go into the Arctic Burn, flying over the trees as far as he possibly can. He gets hit by one of the IO balls. Is anyone else going to come down here to really stop it? Not really. Fnatic are taking the tier 2 tower up on top lane. So this is the trade-off that Tigers are having to accept. More spirits come out, so they see Jabs. Your cold embrace, the arrow, it falls short. It doesn't even get the stun out. So Jabs lands the curse over on the Bane, wants Aya to finish him off, and because Mirana leapt in, he may even find the kill. 1437 so low, but he does not die.
Hashtag space created, Tobes. That is no problem. Abed, in the meantime, farmed an entire jungle, took a tower. It's already got the Aegis.
This is just going to speed up the Blink Dagger. Yep. Like, the initiation is going to start to arrive for Fnatic because Tigers took so long to kill off.
Yeah, bear in mind, Abed went for the full farming build. He rushed E-Blade after 4 Wraith bans. As soon as the Blink comes online, he'll look to actually do things, but for now, he's just been farming. Nearly 200 CS in 20 minutes.
Tigers are looking to do things. 4-man smoke up from mid lane.
Yep.
They're coming over, and the line is drawn to go directly in towards where Meepo is farming up. But remember, he's got Aegis the Immortal. Even if they get that kill, it may not be enough, and this smoked up Fnatic may be able to give a little bit of a rebuttal. Moon, he's found Abed. He'll get the double stun out. The rest of Fnatic have to move quickly. The TP coming over, and they decide not to because, well, the real Meepo is actually on bottom lane, ready to work with the rest of the team.
Oh, God, and the illusion rune. I've lost the land from this. You can poof to the Meepo illusions. You don't realize it. They don't really pose a threat, but they always, you know, a real Meepo could be there at any moment, and they're just going to shove mid. This means tier 2 and 2 mid will just die because Eclipse is down. Nyx's ult is down. Yep. All of a sudden, there's no team fight left. So 2 more towers.
So this turns into a trade game. Yep. Like they take the tier 1 tower up on top lane for the tier 2 tower in mid and bottom.
But the Luna just isn't farmed enough. He needs like a Yasha and a BKB at this point. He'll have BKB soon, but he's not that item ahead he needs to be against a hero like Meepo. Look at these towers.
At least the IO buff helps make up for what he doesn't have.
Yeah.
Like that's the one and very small advantage. But then the bottom lane is pushing in with a skeleton army. It's got a good amount of range creeps and catapult. And Fnatic aren't going to give this up. Ice has Blink Dagger and Reincarnation. At a level 2, so he's very happy for this to pop if they can find an initiation out. Nightmare, the timing's a little bit wrong. Now the fortification kicks in. But up on top lane, Io is so low,
going top.
And they're actually going to TP over. If they can get this kill onto Luna, Moonlight Shadow will provide some level of protection. Io jumps over with the curse. Actually, it's the E-play pop. He saved him from the curse, and then the push. He saved him from nothing. That had to be a bit of a troll. Throw out the curse. The E-Blade came after the curse had already hit.
And he just clicked it because it would have been a sure kill on the Wisp. He was already so low. Wyvern, you know, there's no reason not to use your spells to ensure those kills.
Quick follow-up. That's a Bane. His life's a living hell.
Yeah.
You could say a nightmare.
It's just so easy for Fnatic to play games, to play this game. You have multiple heroes that can find kills, whereas Tigers, you're completely dependent on Nyx and a lack of sentries on Fnatic to do absolutely anything. And without that Luna Eclipse they burnt earlier, I don't even think they killed the Meeple the first time if there's any semblance of a team behind him. And oh my God, Abed's already bottom. Here comes Moon.
He's bottom with his Blink Meepo ready to go.
Just look at the map. You have this crease built around the side of Tigers. And all of a sudden, it's a 5K gold lead at 22 minutes. That's very significant, all right? That's a big jump. It was even, what, 4 minutes ago?
Yep.
Less?
But it's the fact that it's all in the playmaker. It's in the Meepo. Like we were talking about the fact that Tigers committed a hell of a lot of time and a lot of resources to ensure that they could try and shut down this Meepo, and they still have managed to stop him from escalating. And this was our bigger concern when we saw the draft. Now, smoke breaks, Jabs, he's got the Winter's Curse. Who's to go over on? As the Terrorize makes it impossible for Aya to escape. The Splinter Blast just shatters him out, but Jabs is still there. He gets the curse off. Both supports will be deleted at the start of this fight, and the secondary one, because Luna had to stand her ground and fight it. She had no choice. She was cursed.
And they know creeps are in top, So, say goodbye to 1Rax.
If Luna buys back, then this BKB is never going to arrive. It already feels like the game, but here comes the buyback. They need to find a kill. The arrow will connect. Over one, the Meepo is the Bramble, trying to cause some problems. And the loser bean, Arbed protects himself, and the Cold Embrace. They haven't found the damage. They can't kill Arbed. You're having diebacks coming in, and GG. It gets called 23 minutes in. And 1437 from Tiger says, you know what? Enough is enough. We missed the window. Fnatic hit the window.
They made the best of what I'd say their 1.3% chance of winning that game was.
Yeah.
But you could see, once you're in a position of power as the Meepo lineup, yeah, they ended the game fast, right? But you saw Abed, not only is he sitting on the high ground ready to join a fight, his Meepos had cleared bottom jungle of Dire, the Ancients. They're sweeping the map.
Yeah.
He's going to go farm 1,200 GPM while also being able to hunt. Like, it's just easy. Easy.
It also makes sense as well. Like when we have Fnatic versus Tigers, that we actually have a Meepo that controls the game. They both understand this hero insanely well because they both have really high-tier Meepo players. But even with that level of understanding,
it's a 10th pick.
It's a 10th pick. You try and counter it, and it still doesn't work.
I thought you were going to help me out there and be like, it's a 10th pick Exodia. That's the important thing.
I'm never going to help you on that one.
It's the only word to describe what Meepo is in that game. It is an I win. You play it, the end, GG, pack it up, go home, mom's outside in the minivan.
It did still feel a little odd during this game. We'll watch the quick highlights. The game wasn't that long, so this won't take long either. But for me, like the Io and the Bane, like you felt their influence to allow Tigers to take a lot of these earlier fights, but it didn't really feel like it extended beyond that point.
Their whole draft is far too single target and cooldown dependent. You expend all those resources to kill a Wraith King. Oh, wait, that's just reincarnate. Now you lose 3. Because what do a Wisp Bane do at this point? Wyvern had an excellent game, really well done by Jabs. I thought he played his role and hero perfectly. Safeguarded mid, stacked, got D wards off, just perfect plays. The Wyvern ulti's always finding, like, here's the team fight. Willow, all right, Wisp is dead. And now Jabs is like, all right, I'm going to hunt more. You're running right, Wyvern ult, 2 dead. Every single time he lands a curse and Meepo's nearby, you know that they're going to find follow-up. And
that's the game-winning fight. And the fact 22 minutes out, 23 minutes out, it gets to happen outside the base. Like, it wasn't even from a high ground advantage. It was Fnatic making the most of Tiger's indecision. Because the Luna looked like she still wanted to have a go at that, even with the dead Io.
It's Abed Meepo, man. You gotta ban Abed Meepo. I've been saying this for years.
I think it's also great work by Fnatic. Like even at that last point, it really shows their teamwork that they create a lot of space, and that was Jabs doing a lot of work with its Winter Wyvern, able to get the Cold Embrace off. They create more space by just pushing MP forward, by having DJ with that big control.